Good morning, Falcons fans. My name is Patrick Seals, and welcome to the NFL Monday Morning Mix-Up. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap all the games that happened over the weekend and tell you who won and who lost. Now, of course, I'm not going to be talking about the Falcons. This is going to be a very Falcons-free zone. The only time I'm going to talk about the Falcons is from this shirt that I'm wearing. I'm not going to talk about them. If you want to know how I feel about the Falcons, go watch the other videos I made about them, because as we know, they choked another league, and I don't want to talk about them anymore. So, moving on. The Bills played the Rams this past Thursday, where the Bills took on the Super Bowl defending champs, and they beat the dog snot out of the Rams, 31-10. Their defense had 7 sacks. Stephon Diggs had 8 receptions for 122 yards and 1 touchdown, when he was burning Josh Allen every time. And he was burning Jalen Ramsey. Josh Allen had 6 completions for 31 attempts. He had 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Yeah, man, so the Bills completely trounced the Rams. They beat them down and smacked them, and that was a good game for me. The 49ers took on the Bears today, and the Bears won 19-10. That looked like it was a very drainy game where everybody was slipping and sliding, and Soldier Field is terrible, I've heard. Soldier Field is very terrible, and they need to get it fixed. So, the Steelers took on the Bengals, and the Steelers won in a 23-20 overtime victory, with Joe Burrow threw 4 interceptions. And I'm not gonna lie, it's impressive to know that Joe Burrow threw 4 interceptions. Most of them came in the first half, and they were still competitive in this game. They took the Steelers to overtime, where they came back and tied the game up and sent it to overtime, but of course they lost. So the Eagles took on the Lions today, where the Eagles won 38-35. A.J. Brown had 10 receptions for 155 yards, and the Eagles as a team had 216 total rushing yards, where Jalen Hurts had 96 of those yards. Yeah, so the Eagles look like they got into a shootout with the Lions, and they got out of a close game. So that happened. The Patriots got beat down by the Dolphins today, 20-7, while Tyreek Hill had 8 receptions for 94 yards. I can't believe that Bill Belichick has not been able to stop Tyreek Hill. It's kind of interesting to know that they got beat down the way they did. Maybe Bill Belichick's time as a coach is over with. Maybe his time in the sun is done. It's time for another coach to shine as the greatest coach to ever live. I don't know. So, the Ravens took on the Jets today, and it's no surprise that the Ravens beat the Jets 24-9. Lamar Jackson had 17 completions for 30 attempts. He had 213 passing yards with 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had a QB rating of 68.2. Looks like the Lamar Jackson is back to his usual MVP self, and we can expect highlight reel plays coming from Lamar Jackson. Big 2.0. My bad. Let me try that again. Big 2.0. So, the Jaguars took on the Commodores, where the Commodores won 28-22. The Comanches, Carson Wentz had 27 completions for 41 attempts. He had 313 passing yards for 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Well, he had a QB rating of 46.2. I can't even say nothing about the Comanches or the Commodores or the Coco Melons, whoever they want to be called. That's a terrible team name. I hate that team name for some reason. So the Browns took on the Panthers, where Baker Mayfield promised to get revenge on his old team, and come to find out, he did not play too good at all. The score was 26-24. Nick Chubb had 22 carries for 141 rushing yards, with an average of 6.4 yards a carry. So again, I don't know, man. Baker Mayfield is not the person they claim that he is, and the Browns exposed him all day today. He goes to the Falcons division rivals, where we got to play them 2 times a year, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think we might get a W. So let's talk about our former quarterback Matt Ryan, because his Indianapolis Colts took on the Houston Texans, where they tied 20-20. I can't even believe it. The Colts tied the first game of the season, where Matt Ryan had 32 completions for 50 attempts. He had 352 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So it's safe to say that Matt Ryan is back to his old ways. Jonathan Taylor, I can't believe this. Jonathan Taylor had 31 rushing attempts for 161 rushing yards, where he averaged 5.2 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. And Pittman had 9 receptions for 121 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. So Matt Ryan had all these players going off around him, and he still wasn't able to win a game for his team. He didn't lose the game either, but he also didn't win it. So this is the Matt Ryan that I know and love right here, and it's good to see that he hasn't changed not one bit. Matt Ryan, you never change, pal. You never change. So, the Giants took on the Titans today, where they eked out a 1-point victory, 21-20, where Saquon Barkley had 18 carries for 164 yards. He was averaging 9.1 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. Every time this dude touched the ball, he was almost getting a first down. How do you stop that? How do you stop that? Look like Saquon Barkley is back to his all-pro self, man. I'm glad to see that because they was questioning whether he was going to make it in the league because he had a lot of injury problems. Good to see that he's able to bounce back from that. Oh, man, Aaron Rodgers had a long day today against the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers took on the Vikings where the Vikings won 23-7 with Justin Jefferson had 9 receptions, 184 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it looks like Aaron Rodgers' offseason plan to hold out and try to find another team and question whether his offense was going to be good enough did not work for his team at all because they only put up 7 points today, and he looked flustered. He was on the sideline throwing temper tantrums, and that is the Aaron Rodgers that everybody around the league knows. So, the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Arizona Cardinals where the Chiefs won 44-21. Pat Mahomes had 30 completions for 39 attempts. He only had 9 incompletions for 360 yards, and he had 5 touchdowns. Man, this dude is balling. He looked like he's picking up right where he left off in the playoffs. Travis Kelce had 8 receptions for 121 yards and 1 touchdown. It doesn't look like they're missing Tyreek Hill at all. Now, granted, it's just one game in the season. Let's see how these teams shape out for the rest of the season. So, let's move on. The Las Vegas Raiders took on the LA Chargers where the Chargers won 24-19. Their defense had 6 sacks. Justin Herbert had 26 completions for 34 attempts. He had 279 passing yards with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he had a QB rating of 84.8. This dude was balling out there, man. This is the guy they're talking about who's a future MVP, who's going to lead the future of this league for us. And I don't know, man. Let's see. Because this dude looks like a baller, like a gamer, and looks like Pat Mahomes has some competition over there in the AFC West. So, moving on, the game that just ended, the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. I hate both of these teams equally. I take that back. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Buccaneers, but I hate both of them equally in my brain right now. But unfortunately, neither team could lose at the same time. So the Buccaneers won 19-3, where the Cowboys only scored 3 points. Let's laugh at that for a minute. So we're gonna wait to see if the Cowboys fans gonna be saying this is their year because they always do. It's probably not because Dak Prescott exited the game with a hand injury and he did not return. So hopefully it keeps the Cowboys humble and in their place for the foreseeable future. So the Broncos and Seahawks play tomorrow. Other than that, man, my name is Patrick Seals. Thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all tune in next week. All the 4 football videos I'm going to be dropping. That's right. I'm on schedule. I dropped 4 videos this week. So be prepared for me to drop 4 videos going forward for the rest of the season, man. Y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know how y'all think y'all team's going to shape up for the rest of the season, man. My name is Patrick Seals. We can rise up sometimes, but we ain't rising up today, man. Other than that, my name is Patrick Seals. I see you when I see you. Peace.